game's about bringing people together. It's about bringing people together from different backgrounds, different places in the world, different places in the country. I mean, it's more or less in the United States, but it's just about bringing people together.
Malik keeps it, fires deep. Open man has the touchdown.
Oh, man, I love coming to football heaven. This is Elite 11, the Elite 11 Finals, joined by Malik Willis, quarterback at Liberty. Burst onto the scene. Really, in high school, everybody knew about you. Went to Auburn, you're a big-time guy. Then you go to Liberty under Hugh Freeze, and all of a sudden you're making a ton of plays, winning a bunch of games. But here you are at the finals as a counselor. When you got the phone call to come, what was that like?
I feel like it was just unexpected, you know. It was very different. I hadn't been to anything other than Steve Clarkson, and I think I was going to Manning. But when I was growing up, I always wanted to go to the Elite 11, you know, see what that was about. I used to think it was real cool to fly out and be with the best guys in the country, but that wasn't in my future. That wasn't in my plans. So it just made me go work harder, you know. Made me worry about what I need to worry about is what's in front of you. And you can't control whether you get picked for this or that. You just got to be able to lock in and hone in on your skill and keep working, you know. Yeah, like Dak said in the little thing we watched, or the video chat with him, like, you knew who went, you know who didn't go, as being one that didn't go. And it just kind of pushed me, motivated me a little bit. And when they asked me to come be a counselor, it kind of like was a second opportunity for the guys to recognize what I could bring to the table, you know. I felt like I worked hard. I felt like I was one of those guys, and it just was cool to get picked up, to ask me to come talk to the kids and come be around them and show them what it's like.
Yeah, that's really cool. Dak Prescott, of course, you were referring to. He talked to the Elite 11 quarterbacks on behalf of Brand Jordan. It was cool to hear him talk. You could feel his edge and his chip. It sounds like you have one. Where did it develop? Like, what was the young you like as a competitor?
The young me was the same as the me right now, honestly. I just want to win regardless of what goes on. I'm not with all the cool stats and stuff. I mean, that's cool. Like, of course you want stats. Of course you want accolades and all these things that come with that. But at the end of the day, you just want to go out there and win, because that's what's respected more. You can have 500 passing yards and you can lose a game, and I ain't going to feel too good about that. I don't care how good I did. But even if you play a bad game and you win, it's just that camaraderie between you and your teammates and your coaches, and just pulling together and edging out a win regardless of what happens in the game. That's about the adversity. And then when you fight through adversity and you come out on top, that's just the best feeling in the world.
Okay, all right, so let's play a game. I say you can throw for 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, call it 2 picks, but your team is going to go 5-7. Or throw for a modest 1,800 yards, 14 tugs, 4 picks, and you finish the season undefeated.
Undefeated every time.
Well, okay, now let's talk about it, right? Like, here you are, your last year as a quarterback. I think there's a lot of depth to that. I'm not challenging your answer, but I want to know the why behind it.
I feel like there's more power in winning football games than there is in stats. I mean, you can't really... It's not about the stats. As a quarterback, you're a game manager. You are there to manage the game. You are there to put your team in position to win. And regardless if you have to hand it off 40 times in a game and throw it twice and you win that game, I'm happy. You know, I'm happy. I'm not like a win freak or anything. Like, it's not all about winning. That's not what the game's about. The game's about bringing people together. It's about bringing people together from different backgrounds, different places in the world, different places in the country. I mean, it's more or less in the United States, but it's just about bringing people together. I learned a lot from this game that's taught me in my life. So,
like what?
Just how to be a man, how to be a leader, how to be, you know, responsible, how to go about things.
What is a man to you?
A man to me is somebody that just growing up around this game. Being a man, it's just all the things, the intangibles that you look for in a person. That's what a man is, a person first. And when you just realize that a man is a leader of his family, you have to be a leader of men at this position. You got to be a leader in the company if you work there. You got to be a leader regardless, because there are a lot of bad influences out here that pull you any type of way if you're not a leader. And being a leader doesn't mean you're the first person to do whatever, or you're the biggest name, or you're the CEO of the company. Being a leader is just doing the little things right and bringing people up that are under you, or bringing people up on the same level as you, and just holding them accountable.
That's cool. Who taught you about leadership?
Mainly my dad. I mean,
What's his name?
And just my dad,
Yeah.
Harold Willis.
Okay, cool.
And,
what did he teach?
Life. He was my coach when I was I played under him until I was about 14 when I went to high school. And funny thing is, I didn't even start for him at quarterback. I started for him on defense.
That's awesome.
So he never wanted to be like daddy ball. He never wanted to be like that type of thing where you, oh yeah, it's his son's you feel me? His son's the quarterback. He never wanted that. And he taught me that as a young age. Like, okay, the only reason I don't play you is because I don't want anybody else feeling any type of way, because at the end of the day, he can't just worry about me. He got other young men to raise at the end of the day, because maybe there's some people on my team that didn't have a father. I'm for sure it was, but he had to be a father figure to them and take care of them, so he can't just worry about me the whole time. I got to grow up and be a man someday too.
Yeah. Well, you are the man, in air quotes, to a lot of people. You're this year's Trey Lance. You're a guy that isn't at a major Power 5 school anymore, but you got a chance to do a lot of unique things, and people projecting you to go to a lot of high places. How do you, if you do, compartmentalize projections about you by people you don't even know?
Trey Lance, that's my guy, but I mean, like I said, it all started when I was a little bit younger and just growing up wanting to be the best that I can be, and just taking that chip on my shoulder from when I left Auburn and just using it for the best of my that I can. I mean, just going out there and working every day and just learning with my teammates, learning about my teammates, just learning how to be a leader, learning how to do things the right way on and off the field, regardless if you taking a walk to class, like you see some trash on the ground, like just throw it away, bro. It's not that big a deal. Like just doing things the right way so others may see you and they may do the same thing, like they'll follow after you. And it's not about that, but we don't understand the impact that it leaves on people and the changes it can make in your heart.
A lot of people that transfer, I think especially quarterbacks, they say two sentences that really contradict themselves. One is, I just got to go somewhere I could play. I know I could play. The other one is, I got to be at a big-time place. All right, and big time is in air quotes, big time as in historicals in college football. Liberty is not one of those big-time places historically in college football. If you look at Ohio State, Texas, Michigan, et cetera, Oklahoma, we can go up and down the list, SC, UW, whatever. With that said, how did you deal with that? Because that's a vulnerable question, and I'm curious your process, because I think a lot of people who are listening are curious about why you made that call.
Well, I think it, more than anything I say the most, I think it was just part of God's plan for me. Like, he put me there because I needed to be there. He made sure I didn't play at Auburn so I wouldn't have any film, so I couldn't go to another big-time place. And maybe I want to learn what I learned when I went to Liberty. And I think Liberty was a place I needed to be, you know. I had great people at Liberty. I had great facilities at Liberty. And I had great coaches. Like, that was everything I needed. I mean, the school name that's the school name. You're gonna play football regardless of where you at. So I had to look at it from that point of view, and all in all, like, the NFL will find you if that's your calling. Like, if you're doing good enough that they want you on their team, they will come find you. And I didn't want to make it about that. I didn't want to make it about, oh, but if I go here, I can go to the NFL. Oh, if I go here, I can maybe go to the NFL. I just wanted to make it about going out there and having fun, because at the end of the day, I didn't play that much. I just wanted to go play. And NFL is in my future, then that's cool. But if not, that's cool too. At least I had fun. At least I gave it a shot. And it's not even about going as a high pick. It's just about getting the opportunity. At the end of the day, I mean, like you said, Tom Brady went like, I don't even know, the last round, but nobody really cares about that after that day. No matter what happens when you get drafted, when you go to a team, you're just a regular guy trying to get a job. So I don't really focus too much on that. Just trying to get better.
You graduated, right?
Yeah, I graduated in December.
Yeah.
And now I've been in grad school for about a semester.
What's the grad program?
I'm getting my MBA, so Master of Business.
All right, before I let you go, you've got this amazing spirit. It's the first time we've really connected. You got this smile that can light up a room. I'm sure it lights up a locker room and a huddle, wherever you go. What's the origin story of optimism for you?
I don't know, it's just how I was raised. It was just a lot of love, you know? I mean, I always had my family, like, we weren't the richest people, like, but at the end of the day, we always had something to eat, and we always had each other. And that's all you really need at the end of the day. I mean, we never knew anything was wrong. We was always just happy. We was always outside playing, and we had so many sports where we connected with so many people. We just learned a lot from our parents. They never, like, gave us any indication that something was wrong. It was always smiles on their faces, or it was always smiles on our faces. Even when times were tough, like, we banded together and we made it happen regardless. And I just, like, look up to both of them, my mom and my dad, and they just showed us the way to do it the right way. They always did things the right way. They always made it happen for us. So we just got to go out and make it happen for them, or make it happen for ourselves.
I love it, man. Well, thanks for making this happen for us here on this conversation. It's been great to meet you and watch you impact other people.
Yes, sir.
I love it. All right, Malik Willis. Best of luck, man. I can't wait to watch you compete.
Thank you.